Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. I can already hear the comments already. An Olight sale! Oh my gosh, I would have never guessed, right? I hear that a lot of YouTubers make videos of these sales. I don't really watch any, or many at least, of the YouTubers that do these kind of sales, so I apologize if your feed's getting blown up with them. This one did have particular interest to me though, as my email has been getting blown up about the new BALDR Mini. BALDR, B-A-L-D-R Mini. I don't know that that is the name I would have chosen for a light. It probably stands for something, but this little weapon light. I run a holster company, LLOD.US, and I make holsters for the PL Minis. But this is a new light. So I have been getting a lot of questions about this light. Am I gonna make holsters? What do you think of it? Yada, yada, yada. So I'll be getting into that in this video particularly. I will be talking about the other lights in the sale, kind of giving my opinions on them and what I think about them. So stay tuned for that. As always, the reason you see a lot of these Olight videos are that most of us, I think some of us probably just get paid, but most of us, myself included, get paid via affiliate commission. That means if you want to buy something from the sale and you click my link, I get a portion of that sale. So full disclosure, I would love it if you could use my links because that is how I'm making money on this video, not getting paid straight up to make the video. So that's what's going on here. Okay, so here we are. This is what we're gonna be talking about. This is what Olight sent me. I do give these things away every month to my patrons, so if you ever wanna be part of giveaways, my Patreon, they do get all of the gear that I end up not using. Some of these things I haven't even opened yet, but we'll get to those in a bit. So real quick, there's a bunch of free stuff you can get like this if you share the sale with your friends on Facebook or an email or something, and a bunch of different free stuff that you get at different price points that you spend, and there's different sales on different days. So really it's gonna be hard for me to explain it, but just go to the website and it explains all the free stuff, a bunch of combo deals and package and buy this and get that free. But let's just get into the BALDR Mini. See, this is in the gray color. So this is a new weapon light. I'll toss that on a Glock here in a second, and I will compare it to the current PL Mini 2, just kind of some brief, rough size comparison so you can kind of see what's going on. The PL Mini 2 is a little bit smaller. They are similar in that they both have this quick detach mounting system, magnetic rechargeable on the bottom, and they both have this system where you can kind of slide it so you can kind of make it fit a variety of guns. A really cool system, honestly. It allows one light to really fit with kind of custom fit precision on a lot of guns. It does make it a tiny little bit bulkier and pretty ugly in my opinion, but functionally very nice, to be honest. So you can get this, you can toss it on a variety of guns. What it does mean is that it's a brand new light. You won't find a ton of holsters out there yet for it. Depending on how heavily this light is picked up and requested, I may offer holsters for it myself. It is always a proposition of, is it worth it for me to invest the time and effort into making new molds for lights if they're gonna have a large following? And the Olights have. I've liked the Olight PL Mini 1 and I've liked the Olight PL Mini 2 personally. So if I like a light and there is demand for it, then I'll usually make holsters for it. So let me know down below if this is something that you bought or are gonna buy, or if you're very interested in, or if you're gonna get once I start making holsters for. The holsters that I do make, the models that I do make holsters for does oftentimes influence people's purchases. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' opinions on it down below. My opinions real quick are, and let's toss it on a Glock here. This Glock has been cleared beforehand for those that are concerned. For a Glock, if you don't know, if the trigger is back like this, that means the trigger has been depressed and you can no longer depress the trigger anymore. So not that you should use that for your own verify that it's clear check, but at a glance, that's a good indication of if a Glock is clear or not. So this is how it looks on a Glock 19. It's pretty much Actually, it's one out. Sorry, if we have it in the flushed up mode, I would say this is kind of the flushed up mode. You can see that there is a little bit of space between the trigger guard and this. Let's see if we can get it back one more. So it looks like we can get it back one more from flush. So you can see that this is just kind of in a tiny little bit. It is a tiny little bit longer than the PL Mini 2. But really pretty similar dimensions. It's not going to natively fit into a custom fit Precision PL Mini 2 holster, which is a bummer. I don't know if they could have engineered all of this into the same exact dimensions of the PL Mini 2, but it would have been nice for holsters, obviously. It is very close in dimensions, but just not quite there. So the controls are the same, ambidextrous controls, so the same operation on both sides. So just to tap to turn it on, and then it stays on, so it's a constant. And then when it's off, you can press it for longer, and that is your momentary. So momentary and release, momentary and release. This is a little bit sharp, just like the PL Mini 1 and the PL Mini 2. So oftentimes on my carry guns, I will file this kind of corner down just a tiny bit, but no big deal unless you're training low light a bunch and you're gonna be activating that switch a lot. For the occasional activation, totally fine. The unique thing about this light, if you don't know yet, is that it has a laser mode. So we can go here, and this is light only mode. Let's see if we can tell. This will be light and laser. You can maybe kind of tell. And then this is laser only mode. So this is just a green laser. Sorry, my light is super bright, but I'm gonna kind of go around the lens without going into the lens because I don't want to jack anything up. Oh, there it was. So anyways, green laser, very nice. Green lasers are way better than red lasers, if anyone is wondering. And let's see, let me turn the exposure. It's gonna be very hard to tell the green laser and light even with my exposure all the way down. Let's just keep going until maybe you can tell. Okay, once we get here, you can tell now that there is a laser and a light going on. You can switch this into just light mode now, and we can switch this into just laser mode now. The exposure on my camera is way down, so if this light looks dim, that is because it's the only way I can get you to see the laser. Now if we turn it back up to kind of a regular mode here, now you can see that the light is obviously quite bright with a nice hot spot in the middle with a nice flood spill going on here. So as you can see, I'm changing the modes with it on, and that is done in the, I guess you can tell from the bottom here. So let me turn it off, but this switch here is kind of basically like a toggle, but a three-way toggle really. So in the middle is both of them. On this side is just the light. On this side is just the laser. It is kind of weird because the switch does stick out just beyond flush. So holster makers, just be aware of that. I'm guessing it's just so you can easily tactily see which mode it's on. Most people are gonna run this in the middle, I'm guessing, for the light and the laser. The nice thing about the laser, you can tell here, is that it's up high right above the light. So it's actually closer to the bore. When people put lasers down on the bottom of the lights, they're hanging down here, and it'll mess the sighting in at different ranges pretty badly. So you may have it 0 to 10 yards, and then at 15 yards, it could be way off. So the closer to the bore is better. So I like that Olight put the laser as close to the bore as they could feasibly get it on this. It does make it better for a variety of distances that you sight it in at. So that's the BALDR Mini, which is the most exciting thing in the sale, in my opinion, and the one that I'm really interested to hear your feedback on down below, so let her rip. Next, we have this bad boy, which is the Warrior X, and it's largely like the Warrior X, but with a big old bezel down here. You can tell most of the time when lights have big bezels like this, it means that they are gonna be throwers, that they're gonna have a lot of candela. So this is a UT, I believe UT stands for ultra throw. the Warrior X Turbo Extreme Distance Tactical Light, limited edition. This is in a gray. Olight always does limited edition stuff, and I've been asking them to do OD for a while, and they've been doing it for a while now, but a lot of their lights now are coming in OD, some are coming in camo, some are coming in American flag print, so that's pretty cool. So this light here will come with a holster you can use. It'll have a belt clip as well, or a pocket clip, and it's a robust flashlight. I really like the Warrior X because it has a really unique tail switch. Most of the Olights are going to come with a little yellow thing on their batteries, so you're going to want to take that off. Might be good to give them a full charge as well, but for the sake of the video, I'll just kind of get into it. What do we have? We have a warning here: before first use, please remove the protective lens cover. So we're gonna get rid of that. And now we are in action. The nice thing about the Warrior X's is they have this really cool kind of dual power tail switch thing here. So it is, you press it part of the way for momentary, you can do momentary in a full press or a partial press, but you press it a little bit of the way and it's not full power here. It might be hard to tell on camera, but you press it all the way and it gets a little brighter. You see that little bump up? A little bit brighter. So that means you can have a somewhat of a dimmer mode here, and when you press it all the way, you get your full blast. I like that for defensive lights. They're just kind of practical and functional, because if you don't need all the power and you are not freaking out or anything, you can just press it part of the way and you'll get part of the power. This light, again, like I was talking about, big bezel. Not going to be my first choice for like an EDC light or anything like that. But if you have a big yard, or if you want to keep it in a truck, or if you just want to throw light. So yeah, they say this throws light 1,000 meters, and it has a whopping, get this, not a typo I don't think, 250,000 candela. So candela is basically, the higher the candela is, typically the further it's going to throw, and lumens matters a little less when it comes to how much it's going to throw. Candela is really that number you're looking for, how far the light is going to be able to penetrate. So 250,000 candela is a ton of candela for a portable handheld flashlight. These lights are using bigger batteries. They're not using this typical kind of 18650 that you'll find in these lights. They are using 21700s, 21700 batteries. So a little more power than the 18650s. Then we have some lights I'm not going to get into too much. This is the Olight S1R Baton 2. Whew, what a name. Is that, did I get her S1R Baton 2? Yeah, this is one of my favorite EDC lights. Magnetic tail cap, magnetic rechargeable, super tiny. You probably know all about this light. It is their #1 selling light, and a light that I really love to use, though I have lately been using its big brother for the most part, which is the S2R Baton 2, which is basically just a little bit bigger, a little more lumens. Just feels a little better in the hand to me. But if you want a really small light that has just a ton of practical functionality, this baby is great. And you guys, if you know me, you probably know I love orange. So this color is actually pretty near and dear to my heart. So yeah, just a new color in the S1R Baton 2, but basically everything else the same. Then let's talk really quick about the M1T Raider Plus. This is a nice FTE color, and this is a really great EDC flashlight. If you're not looking for the magnetic tail cap stuff like I like in a lot of my lights, we have two CR123s here, and it just has a really good fit in the hand. It doesn't have a bezel that is any bigger than the rest of the body of the light. Nice knurling around here, or really not technically knurling, but kind of a grippy texture around here. And pretty relatively low profile, nice EDC light that has a rubber tail cap that kind of juts out, easy access, goes on to your bright mode, which I believe is 800 lumens out the gate, and then it has some different modes as well. You can get into like a low mode here, which I believe is, what is the low mode? Is 15 lumens, which has a 65-hour runtime. So yeah, nice little EDC, a nice little no-nonsense EDC light, dual CR123s, good size, really perfect size for kind of a tactical application flashlight in my opinion. Then we have nice little rechargeable keychain lights in a bunch of colors. We have the i5T and the i3T as well. These are nice little kind of task lights that are very small and very thin. A few different colors in these babies as well. Now, one new thing we do have, which is actually pretty cool, is this Olight tactical pen flashlight with a rechargeable battery in here. So let's get into this a little bit. Cool little packaging here, has the USB charger kind of wrapped around the side like that, and then looks like a pen refill comes in here as well. So it feels like a pretty solid pen, has the kind of lever action pen retractor here. Oh, and that feels, I mean, that feels really nice. That clicks back in and out with authority. And then we have an interesting flashlight here. So it has the clip on the back, so you could kind of clip it onto something and then have your little flashlight here in the front. And it's a very flood flashlight. You can see kind of how wide it is, even from this close to the desk. So it's really more of a task light. You're not gonna be blinding anyone in the eyes with this, but it does get up to 120 lumens, which is crazy. And it has a 5 lumen moon mode, which I'm guessing is, oh, and it is, that's wild. So this is the first time I'm playing with it. It has momentary as well on the switch, so press it and then let it go. So man, a very cool light, honestly. You can go through the different settings, boom. I mean, surprisingly bright when this is shining in your eye, kind of, but anyway, and then I believe you unscrew it to recharge it. Would you believe it? Good job, Olight. They actually are a pretty forward-thinking company. I love it. They are using a USB-C charger here. None of that old micro USB nonsense that you see a lot of companies putting into modern devices. USB-C here. Well done, Olight, on that. So this pen light actually super nice, honestly. So definitely personally, the two things I'm interested in most are the BALDR. Again, love to hear your thoughts on this, and the pen, honestly, which this is, in my opinion, kind of the hidden gem of this whole sale. So yeah, if you've been watching my EDC videos or any of my videos for a long time, you know I've been a fan of Olight for a long time. They take customer feedback and they integrate it into their lights at a very fast pace. Their magnetic tail cap lights kind of change the way I look at an EDC light. There's no way I could have an EDC light without a magnetic tail cap anymore. It's so convenient for task-oriented stuff. So I don't find a personal use for all the stuff Olight makes. I do love throwy lights. I live with a little bit of property in the mountains, so I have some of Olight's really big throwy lights by my bedstead, so I can, if a tree starts barking like crazy, I can go see, if there's a bear in my yard or something. So some of these lights have a use for me, but depending on who you are, they may not have uses for you. So again, Olight doesn't pay me any money to use their stuff. Olight doesn't pay me any money to make holsters for their lights. Olight doesn't pay me any money except, like I said in the beginning, affiliate commissions. So if you want to buy anything, definitely I would love if you used my links. I just think they make good products. I believe they have 5-year warranties as well, which I always say in the light world, a 5-year warranty is more than you need, because a 5-year-old light is going to be pretty much garbage because the technology is advancing pretty quick in that regard. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear if you're going to pick up some of these things. And again, I know I've said it like 5 times throughout the video. Let me know if you're interested in holsters for the BALDR Mini. And that'll be a good way for me to kind of gauge interest in if I should start prototyping that. And I need to get my hands on, I need to test these lights a little bit. These, again, I opened some of these lights for the first time, so the BALDR, I haven't tested it at all. So I'll test that out, see how I like it, and yeah. All right, well, until next time, guys, take care.